Hey, you ever wish there was something we could do about climate change?
You mean climate change?
Yeah, like something could do to help.
Well, not to be smug, but I am doing so much to help with climate change.
Well, I don't know, what are you doing?
Well, you see, over the course of my entire life, I have gradually increased the amount of recycling I put into my recycling bin. Last week alone, I filled it up 3/4 full. So, I'd say I'm doing a pretty good job to protect our planet.
You know that most of that isn't recycled anymore, right?
What?
Yeah, it's kind of a shame.
Rats! There goes my easy and convenient way to feel like I'm contributing to climate change.
It's like, yeah, I just wish that there was something easy I could do.
Did somebody say climate change? Oh my gosh! This maskless stranger! But don't worry, I'm vaccinated. I won't transmit COVID to you.
Oh, you're vaccinated?
Oh, well then we're cool.
Thank goodness you're vaccinated. I'm totally fine with random strangers appearing, so long as they're vaccinated.
I am the dapper environmentalist. I'm kind of like Santa Claus, except instead of showing up in your house and giving you presents, I give you knowledge about how you can help fight climate change. So I'm way better than Santa Claus.
So you can tell me what I can do to help with climate change?
Yes, I can indeed.
I'm ready.
Alright, let me just hook up my presentation on this handy dandy screen behind me. We'll do a time skip so that the audience doesn't have to watch this.
Wait, time what?
And there we go. Oh, we're all hooked up now. Alright. Who's ready for some climate activism? Alright, so you two fellows, I'm going to teach you how you both can easily help save the planet. Now, this is you guys, and this is our beautiful planet. Our beautiful planet has some problems. It's heating up. You're very concerned about it. You'd like to help. You'd like to help fix the problems. But what can you do, you ask? You don't have enough money for Tesla. You're too poor. But you're not smart enough to come up with an invention. You're too stupid.
Who are you calling stupid?
Changing your diet! That's how you can help.
So like, drinking a vegetable smoothie and doing yoga.
Not exactly. What I mean is looking at the impact each food item we consume has, and removing or reducing those which have a large ecological impact. Makes sense. Now then tell me, do you chaps know what this is?
Deliciousness, that's what that is. An essential component to any American's diet. A burger.
Well, if you want to be technical. Correct! And as the Hootie Man over there pointed out so astutely, this is a staple of American fast food culture. Well, it may come as a shock to you fellows, but things like this have meat in them. Dear God! But what does that have to do with climate change? Well, meat is a popular food item around the world. In America, for example, the average person consumes 124 kilograms of meat each year.
Well, that's a lot of meat. That's like more meat than I have on me.
Now all this meat adds up, and the more meat we eat, the worse it is for our planet for a number of reasons. One, for example, is greenhouse gas emissions. The entire meat industry is responsible for about 15% of all greenhouse gas emissions. That's 7.5 billion tons.
Whoa, I didn't know gas could weigh that much.
Surprising, isn't it? Because of the large effect the meat industry has on global greenhouse gas emissions, reducing the amount of meat we eat can go a long way to helping fight climate change.
How much are we talking though? Is it like significant, or is it almost completely negligible?
Well, to answer your question, let's talk about two types of meat. Beef and poultry.
Why are we focusing on these two?
Because they are both popular meat choices and both have an effect on climate change. Remember, you want to fight climate change, right?
Yeah, I do.
Well then, this will help you. Now, how much carbon dioxide do you think a kilogram of beef produces?
5 inches. 10 pounds?
You're both wrong. A kilogram of beef produces 60 kilograms of carbon dioxide.
Whoa, that's like how much I weigh.
Indeed. Now, how much do you think poultry produces?
I shall guess 4 inches. 50 kilograms.
Wrong again. Poultry only produces 6 kilograms of carbon dioxide per kilogram of meat.
Whoa, that's a big difference.
Yes, by buying poultry instead of beef, you can save on almost 10 Phillips in carbon dioxide emissions.
Yeah, wait. How do you know my name? How does he know my name?
But there's more to this than simply emissions. We also have to look at what other resources are used in producing our two meats.
So, like food and water.
Yes, when looking at what you need to raise an animal, the 3 major things you need are food, water, and land. So let's look at the numbers for these, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's start with food. Now, as you might guess, cows are much bigger than chickens, so they require more resources.
Makes sense.
As such, when looking at how much food is needed to produce beef versus poultry, it is best to look at how much is needed to produce X amount of meat.
Okay.
For now, we'll look at 1 kilogram of meat. So, how much feed is needed to produce 1 kilogram of beef? In this case, it's 25 kilograms. By contrast, you only need 3.3 kilograms of feed to produce 1 kilogram of poultry.
That's quite a sizable difference.
So we can see here that poultry is much more efficient than beef at converting feed into protein. Now let's look at water. It takes 112 liters of water to produce 1 gram of protein of beef. By contrast, it is only 34 liters of water to produce that same amount of protein of poultry meat.
Whoa. That's water.
Now then, the final factor we'll be looking at is land usage. Now when looking at this, we have to not only consider how much space the animal physically requires, but also how much is used to grow the food for the animal. Now, there's about 104 million kilometers of habitable land. Of this amount, 50% is used for agriculture, or about 51 million kilometers.
Wow.
Now, how much of that land do you think is used to produce meat and dairy?
20%.
Try 77%, or 40 million square kilometers.
That's a lot of land.
Indeed, especially when you consider that only 18% of the global calorie supply is from meat, and 37% of the global protein supply is from meat. So for the amount of land we devote to meat production, we don't get a whole lot out of it.
So, reducing the amount of meat we eat can help with solving climate change and increase the amount of people who can be fed?
Exactly. Meat shouldn't make up the majority of one's diet. It's not healthy and it's not good for the environment for all the aforementioned reasons. Another reason is land usage. As we can see, the amount of land needed to produce beef or poultry is much higher than the amount needed to produce rice or apples.
Right.
Now, one shouldn't feel bad about eating meat. Once in a while is perfectly alright. But if we can reduce the amount of meat we consume and switch to meat which is better for the environment, like chicken, we can go a long way to helping fight against climate change. For example, if you eat a kilogram of poultry instead of a kilogram of beef, you'll be saving on kilograms of food, greenhouse gas emissions, and liters of water.
But if the beef is already in the store, how is me not buying it gonna help?
What?
That's like the first thing you've said today that's made sense.
That's a good question. However, the less beef you buy, the less is produced. It's like putting $1 into the bank each day. Over the course of 10 years, you'll save about $3,600 with just $1 a day. So it may not feel like much, but over time, buying less meat will have a big impact on the planet.
That's true.
So that's your answer then? Buy less meat?
Well, there's no one single answer to climate change. It's a massive problem, and as such is going to require many different solutions with many different people working on them. But it is a way for you, an individual, to do your part in helping to fight against climate change and helping to restore our beautiful planet to its natural state.
Wow. It's really crazy how something so simple as eating less meat can have such a big impact on climate change.
Yeah, thanks for telling this to us. Yeah, this was really helpful.
Yes, I'm glad you found this very informative, and I look forward to hearing.
Ho ho ho!
Wait, Santa?
Oh, why hello there, Santa.
Oh yes, Dapper. I just came to tell you about your COVID test. My elves finished doing it for me.
Ah yes, my COVID test. I presume it came back negative.
It came back positive. Ho ho ho!